It's not every day that you get to meet royalty. And this afternoon it was all too much for one little boy who dissolved into tears as he was introduced to the Duchess of Cambridge in Luxembourg. The shy youngster met Kate as she arrived at a cycling-themed festival in Place de Clairefontaine, but quickly hid his head on his mother's shoulder and the Duchess looked on sympathetically. Kate, 35, looked elegant in a pastel blue coat dress by Amelia Wickstead, which she paired with her trusty nude heels and £3,500 blue topaz and diamond drop earrings in white gold from Kiki McDonough. She kicked off her visit with a visit to the Mush d'Armaderna, accompanied by Crown Princess Stephanie, the patron of the museum, who looked striking in a red wrap dress with a ruffle detail at the front. The Duchess of Cambridge is in the small nation to attend commemorations marking the 150th anniversary of a treaty that confirmed the country's independence and neutrality. Kate will spend one day in the capital city of the Grand Duchy where the main focus will be events celebrating the 1867 Treaty of London. The visit is likely to be interpreted as another trip being made by a member of the royal family in their role as Brexit ambassadors, as they have been dubbed by the press. Kate visited Paris in March with William in what was seen as the first in a series of European tours by the monarchy to strengthen ties with the continent. In July, the Cambridges will visit Poland and one of the leading EU nations, Germany. Kate, a patron of the National Portrait Gallery, was first taken to see the sculptures of British artist Sir Tony Craig, who uses familiar substances like wood, glass and metal to create organic shapes or repurposes everyday objects to create new ways of seeing the world. The Duchess had the Luxembourg Princess and Prime Minister in stitches when she showed off her mischievous side and joked about testing Sir Tony's theory about the representation of order and chaos by pulling down a carefully erected tower of glassware. The trio stood in a room showing the work fields of heaven where order was represented by stacks of wine glasses, bottles and vases that could crash down if disturbed, while the opposing chaotic artworks nearby would remain intact if touched. Nadine Erpelding, head of the museum's public program who took the Duchess, Princess and Prime Minister around the exhibition, said, "The Duchess suggested we should test the theory and pull out one of the glasses, but she said she wouldn't try it." Kate also appeared fascinated by a fountain filled with black ink by Luxembourg artist Soumet Gze, where words had been dissolved back to their original state. The Duchess was careful not to go too close to the display, which looked like an ornate indoor water feature until the viewer peered closer at the surface of the liquid. Later, Kate will join Luxembourg's Prime Minister Xavier Bettel at the Dreyschlein Museum for an event commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Treaty of London. The Duchess will be given a guided tour of Luxembourg 1867 Open City, a new exhibition which explains how the dismantling of Luxembourg's fortifications laid the foundation for the transformation of the state into an open and outward-looking city and country. At Luxembourg City Museum, Kate will attend the launch of a new collection telling the country's history to mark the 150th anniversary, and she will be led on a short walk outside the museum to take in the stunning views of the capital. Luxembourg is only a small country but over the decades has become a thriving financial center, after suffering the depression of its iron and steel industries. The country's strategic place between France, Belgium and Germany, and proximity to the Netherlands, has meant it has been at the heart of territorial ambitions of a number of states for centuries. In the mid-19th century, things came to a head when a crisis developed over France's plans to buy the Grand Duchy from the Netherlands as William III, whose forebears had governed it But when Prussia, whose garrison still occupied the fortress of Luxembourg, objected, the powers met in London, once known as the Gibraltar of the North. Its fortress was dismantled under the treaty signed on May 11, 1867. The garrison withdrew and the Grand Duchy was declared perpetually neutral under the guarantee of the signatory powers. During her trip, Kate will also visit an exhibition by British artists Sir Tony Cragg and Darren Almond and attend a reception with leading young people from the worlds of culture, education, business and the charitable sector. The Duchess will tour a cycling-themed festival and unveil a mural to one of Britain's greatest cyclists, Tom Simpson, who died while racing in the Tour de France, as a mural is unveiled of Luxembourg's cycling great Charlie Gaulle. Kate will also call on Luxembourg's monarch and head of state Grand Duke Henri and his wife, Grand Duchess Maria Theresa, who were guests at the Cambridge's wedding in 2011. The trip will be the Duchess's second official solo overseas visit, following her successful trip to the Netherlands last October.